What's up, guys? It's Scar here from theScore eSports here with Lourlo from Team Liquid after a very close 2-1 series. What exactly happened in that series to make it so difficult to win against the lowest ranked team in the league?
Uh, yeah, I don't know. In terms of going into game one, I think our mindset wasn't like as good as we wanted to. We probably took them not for as granted. Like we, I guess, underestimated them a bit. And then going into game two, our draft was a bit shaky. I think I can't really remember exactly, but yeah, we just kind of didn't do anything that game. We just slowly lost Dragon, played 2v1 bad again, and everyone just like kind of tilted that game. And then going into game three, it was like still pretty shaky. We didn't play around the map properly, and we just played bad today. I think overall, it wasn't how I wanted to play, but we got the win, so it's okay, I guess.
Did you feel like it was like underestimation, just that, or did you feel like it was something else, some other factor that made you guys play worse than expected?
In terms of going into this week and like scrims and stuff, our scrims have been pretty bad in terms of like how we practice this week. Like the week before when we took games off, when we beat C9 and Envy, we improved way more than we did this week. So it was just like I think the whole week in general was just a flop for us in a sense. It was just like our focus was off. We didn't have strict things to improve on, and it was just like we didn't have a strict goal. Like last week we had our goal of like we're gonna 1-3-1 split push, and this week we had a goal, but it wasn't like executed as properly as we wanted to. And just on top of that, it was just like we couldn't find just what we wanted in draft, and we just our champ pools were probably a little like one dimensional. So everything was a little off, and we're gonna make sure to buckle down for next week.
So what's the takeaway from this week for you? You say you guys aren't happy. You guys essentially 2-0 this week, right? But you're not happy. What do you guys bring away to improve on?
Well, we won one this week. We lost to Immortals, but in terms of what we take away, I think we need to fix our 2v1 mainly, and also just we play bad in terms of macro. Like we didn't play good. Like we played. We're winning because we're good like mechanically. We're not winning because we're good as a team still, and that's like a big thing we need to work on. Like we're all really good mechanically. It's just like buckling down and just making sure that we can, like execute macro game and just properly rotate around the map and actually like win through, not just mechanics.
So let's talk a little bit about your picks this series. You played 2 games with Shen. What is it about Shen that makes him come back recently?
So Shen is a really popular pick right now because he's probably one of the best blinds in top. This being so, he's like really good into all the meta champs like Trundle. He can go even, Irelia can go even, and just like all the really popular meta champ, he's really good. And also in terms of just like team comp and like running out of comp, he's really good because he can be an engaged champion, and also he's good to protect like a strong carry base. That's like what you're playing around now. You're heavily playing around mid, and you want to like get your mid head. And if you have a Shen, he's never gonna die. And then you have an 80 carry like Sivir, you're never gonna like do so much damage. So you just protect your 2 carries, and Shen's like a really good pick to round out the comp.
Would you say Shen enables you guys to play around bottom more, or do you guys feel like you are more of like a top centric team or a mid centric team?
I think we don't have like a strict of like where we're gonna play. It's just like we play around the comp. We try to play what's best for that comp, and we're still like pretty bad at it. We still like, as you see in game two, it's like how we like played pretty bad. We didn't do anything. But in terms of like which like style oriented we are, I guess it's like whichever's better. We play around mid when it's appropriate. We play around bots when it's appropriate. And with the Shen pick, you're just like you can play around mid and bot really easily.
I want to ask, how do you get in situations where I feel like the second game you guys gave Echo Fox their only champion they've ever gotten a win on, as well as drafted 5 champions that do poorly into the champion against the only player who's ever been able to carry that team. And in the third game, you guys probably drafted one of the best drafts you guys have done through the whole split, countering the Talia pick with Hycrobe Shen, something that P1 did, I think, a week or two ago, or maybe this week. How does it differ so drastically from one game to the next for you guys?
I think I think the biggest thing was just like giving the Anivia, I guess. I don't know. It's just like, like as soon as we got off stage, I was just like, why the fuck didn't we ban Anivia? And like, just like, it's just, I guess we kind of just lost draft off that in a sense. And we also just like picked bad champions in Anivia. It wasn't like they got Anivia and we like picked good things against it. We just like picked a lot of bad stuff into it. So it was like, we picked Sivir low range, can't really go into Anivia. We picked like a Hecarim. We picked Sivir Karma, and Anivia can just like zone us off and chokes and stuff. So like our comp didn't make any sense game two, and we just have to make sure we fix those mistakes in draft and also just fix our gameplay and like what champions we play. So
You talk about focus and you talk about goals for the week. How do you, like how does that like set your focus for the week? Like going, let's just say hypothetically, create something that you're going to focus on for this next week going into LCS.
so goals are extremely important for our team, just like in terms of like mentality and just like having the strive to improve for the week. Because if you go into a week not having like like a goal setting, you're literally just going to like blind, like you don't, like you're just going in like, what am I doing? But if you have like a goal, like work on 1-3-1, work on 2v1, work on 4-1, work on team fighting, work on vision control. If you have something in mind, like before going in, then everyone is on the same page. So yeah, I think for next week we realize that our mid game and vision control is bad, and also our 2v1's really poor. So we're just gonna look to improve those things, and I think we can really easily because it's like really easy mistakes to fix. So.
Recently I feel like your consistency and Phoenix's consistency has improved by a lot to the point where people are now considering you a very competent carry player, and same with Phoenix. Is there been a change for that? Do you think it's like more coaching oriented, personal oriented, you guys, or is it just because your team looks better together?
I don't think it's because our team looks better. I think it's just like in terms for me being more consistent. I think I put in more work than I did in the past. I've like made sure I understood matchups, made sure I understand how to like play the game in the most appropriate way, and just like made sure my laning and also like my understanding of the game got increased for this split. And I wanted to like show that I can be a competent player. So yeah, in terms of Phoenix's consistency, he's like always good. He just plays dumb sometimes. So yeah.
Uh, So speaking about aggression, you play with probably the most aggressive jungler in North America, one of the most aggressive junglers in North America. How do you adapt around his play style? How do you compensate for his play?
Josh is literally an animal in game in terms of like it being really, really good and like benefiting us like extremely, and also like being really bad and like probably maybe losing us games in some of his calls, like maybe rushing Baron too soon. But I think it's really good for our team because we also have Matt. He's like the more calm and like collected guy that can just like pull back bad calls. We're like making him that designated like caller in terms of like when to back, when to rotate, and just yeah, having Josh as like I guess like an animal in the game is also good because we just proactive and make a lot of plays around the map.
Would you say that your synergy with Josh has helped you a lot to be able to improve to the point where you are now?
Yeah, of course. Like he's pushed me in more ways than one. In terms of like not even in game too, like out of game, he's like made me like a better person, just like understand like myself as a person too. Like it's pretty crazy to me that he can change me so much. Like even for like I don't know if it's worse or better, but also like in game, and I think it affected me a lot. And also, I think it like built up my confidence, even though it like shits on me a lot. It also like improves my play overall.
Give me a story about you two, something that you really you when you think of him and you want to tell something about him and you and what it means for you guys.
A story?
Yeah, like when you're talking about relationships, like I feel like you essentially have a relationship with your jungler. So what's a story that like either how you guys met or what's the first thing that comes to mind?
It's just a love and hate relationship, man. We got too many. I don't know. It's just like on some days he's like, I guess he's always my best friend, but some days he's like probably the most like fun guy to be around. And some days he's like, yeah, get me away from that guy. But it's like I enjoy being around him, even though he's Dardoch.
Anything you want to say out to your fans? Anything you want to say out to Dardoch right here?
No, I'm good. Just keep supporting us. We have still a lot to work on, and I just want to make sure we do better for the next coming weeks.
All right. Well, from one of the most handsome top laners in North America, Scarra here from theScore eSports. You can find more coverage online and our mobile app. Thank you guys. Hope you guys have a nice day.